Hello, Jaynie Morris here. I hope you're having an absolutely fabulous day wherever you are in this amazing, beautiful world of ours. I wanted to stop by very quickly as it is the end of the week, and I've had a couple of encounters with some incredible people this week. I was very fortunate to have been invited to speak at a roundtable event for the South Australian Government on financial security and financial burdens and issues and challenges for women experiencing domestic violence. And it was a great get together. It was a great event. It wasn't a talk fest, and I'm feeling very positive about the outcome. And I was the guest speaker on that with Minister Hildyard. And yeah, it was a great afternoon, great time being invested. I'm looking forward, as I say, to what comes out of that. However, as a direct result of that, I've had lots of conversations with lots of women this week as I'm researching my second book. Of course, my latest book, which has come out, which is this time next year, which is available on Amazon. I can never get this right. How do we do this? Clearly, I don't have my team helping me today, because it is Friday and everybody's gone for a break. But this time next year, the guidebook that I wrote, the guidebook that I actually wrote when I was going through domestic abuse and when I fled and got out of that, and it's the guidebook that I wish that I had have had when I was going through all of that, and that which would have made things a little bit easier, maybe have taken a little bit more fear out of the process that I was going through. And so I've had the occasion to speak about it more this week. I've been invited to speak at a couple of events, and I've met some incredible, courageous and brave women that are going through it right now. And that's why I wanted to jump on, because there's unfortunately been quite the common can't even speak. End of the week. Quite the common thread this week in regards to narcissism. And so I just wanted to start talking about phones ringing. Sorry. Just wanted to start talking about narcissism, how to spot it, what happens in the beginning of relationships with a true narcissist, and share from my personal story. So, and the reason that I'm doing this is I think that it might be good to fuel the conversations that everybody is having, especially with the fact that over 4 women were murdered this week in South Australia, in Australia alone, by people known to them. So domestic abuse is on the rise, and whatever we can all do together to assist in changing that, I think we should. So the information I want to share with you right now is, many of you might already know this, many of you might have already experienced it yourself, is when you get into a relationship with a narcissist. Now, that can be a love relationship or a work relationship as well. There's the beginning stages. Once you meet, a narcissist will start to love bomb you. So let's talk about a personal relationship. If you're in a personal relationship, a narcissist, their initial goal is to get you, to hook you in, to hook you in. So how they do that is through love bombing. So, every day you'll get lots of text messages, you'll get phone calls, you might get flowers and things, and you might get things said to you that, oh my gosh, let's get married now, because clearly we're the ones that should always be together, and all this sort of stuff. And then once the hook's in and they've got you, then all of a sudden the text messages start to fade away. Then all of a sudden the phone calls and everything start to fade away. Then the flowers stop and everything, but you're hooked in now. And there's a really interesting process that then goes on. And so I just want to talk about that love bombing in the initial stage of being in a relationship with a narcissist, because it happened to me in my in my former relationship. When we first got together, there was an incredible amount of love bombing. There were text messages, there were phone calls, and within 3 days, I was so overwhelmed and thought that, wow, somebody loves me that much. Somebody wants me in their world that much. Oh my God, he must be the one. And on the third day, when he and I had dinner, he said to me, "Do you know what? I don't think we should waste any time. Let's start planning our wedding now." And I looked at him and I said, "Planning our wedding?" And he said, "Yes." He said, we're mature individuals. He said, and then he said, I hadn't said the love word, right? He said, "We clearly love each other. We don't want to be without each other. Let's start planning the wedding. Where would you like to get married? What would you like to wear?" And so, of course, I'm thinking all these things. Wow, wow, wow. And so I'm going, oh my gosh, well, I don't, and then the whole conversation that night was all about a potential wedding in the future and he and I getting married and being together forever. And it was a key point in the love bombing that I was vulnerable at the time. My mother had only passed away 5 weeks prior to that. And so I felt very alone. I was very vulnerable. And he grabbed it and he used it the best to his possible, best of his ability. And he hooked me. So that's phase one, love bombing with a narcissist. So it's a good thing to look out for. I'm actually putting together a whole training, and my next book has got a lot of information about this. I'm doing the research on it at the moment. And as always, with anything that I write or I do or I speak on, I always do it with a sense of hope, joy, eternal optimism, and humor. Because at the end of the day, I was just on a training call that I've been invited to speak on. And as I said to everybody then, like when we go through domestic abuse, it is the most horrific experience in our lives. And we're in pain, we're in fear. Our self-esteem goes, our self-confidence goes. Many of us end up homeless and financially ruined by our perpetrators. Many of us lose friends because our perpetrators sort of seed prior to the big breakup that there is something wrong with their partner, and in my case with me. I should have seen the signs of what happened with my former partner and his ex before me, because that's what he did to her as well. But so everything I'm doing, all of my training, my next book, even this time next year, my latest book, which is available at Amazon, is seeded with humor, because we go through enough pain. And if we continue to go through life after we have left our perpetrators, after we have left that narcissistic relationship, if we continue to go through pain and heartache and victimhood, then they're actually still winning. And that's not what we want. We want our lives back. We want our self-esteem back. We want our self-confidence back, because we are amazing. We are incredible beings, and we were before we met them. And by God, we are after we leave them and have the courage to do so. So look out for those courses. They're going to be coming in 2024. And of course, my website, www.jayniemorris.com. Subscribe there and you'll be amongst the first to hear all about those as well. Anyway, that's my first little seed that I'm going to start dropping in regards to the processes of narcissists and how to spot them as well. Doing a lot of research on that at the moment, finding it fascinating. Are you in that sort of relationship right now? Let's see how we work on that to help you get out of that. Anyway, wherever you are in this amazing, beautiful world of ours, I hope you're having an absolutely fabulous day. And I look forward to you joining me next when I decide to spontaneously pop into your social media feed. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Don't forget to subscribe.